Stays crunchy. Stays crunchy. And milk.
Is your basketball team 13-0? Because my motherfucking basketball team is 13-0 and looking real crispy. Although I worry about this next game against the Bulls. I feel like they out to get us. But yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers. My city's basketball team. Look, I root for two teams in this city, and it's the Cavs and it's the Guardians. That's it. If the Browns do well one day, great. But I do not root for the Browns. And to have a squad that's out here, the only change made being that they got a new head coach. It's wild. It's extra wild. And the internet still don't talk about us. Well, no, the internet actually is talking about us a lot. ESPN don't talk about us. What the fuck is going on with y'all bitches? They're kind of starting to get it going. Once we hit like I think 11, they was like, what's going on over there? And then we played the Embiid-less 76ers the other night, but they rookie went off, so they had to talk about us then.
Yeah, I watched a clip from First Take this morning where it was like a 4-minute segment, and they're like, "Oh, are the Cavs contenders? Are they good?" And Stephen A. Smith's like, "I don't know." Like literally, that was his answer. It's like, I don't know. It almost felt like someone who's just like, "Do we really have to talk about this right now?" Like that was the demeanor he was giving off. Like, I ain't got time for this. Cavs, fuck the Cavs.
I saw a TikTok earlier tonight, and dude was like, "What the fuck is up with Cleveland, man? Y'all think y'all good? Y'all think y'all gonna go to the playoffs?" He goes, "I fuck y'all whole shit up and put y'all on a parlay." Nobody's parlays be hitting. And what he said, my Mavs is supposed to be 13-0, and they 5-6. This bullshit. You see that shit Luka threw up the other night? I'm like, man, wow. But it's been fun to watch us, and I have been watching us and watching highlights of us because we are, I don't know, man, it's wildly efficient in the way we playing. You know what I'm saying? We like, yes, we have our starters, but the other night against the Bulls, set the whole starters down, put in all the bench. Bench went like 18-0 run right quick, or 18 and some change run. And it's just like, oh, okay, so we all out here getting double-digit numbers up and so forth, and it's just been fun to watch. And I mean, look, I don't think we're going to get to 15-16 Warriors 24 straight, but we could get to that Houston team that got 15 straight, which is the number 2. And I'm like, we can do 15, we can tie for that, maybe 16. Looking at what we got next, it's like we got another game against the Bulls is up next again. That's not a back. It's kind of back to back, but not really because we had a in between their game. But it's Bulls next.
The Cavs have played every other day or every back to back every day since the season started. They've played 13 games in 22 days. It's been fucking insane. That's why they look so tired now. Like you could see it in second and third quarters, shots are short because they're just running out of they're running on fumes. Even though the fact that they've been playing so many bench guys to try and help eat up minutes to get through. Yeah, guys still are fucking tired. It's hard to play a game on Saturday. They played the Warriors last Friday.
Yeah.
Then they played Brooklyn the next night. Then they got on a plane and went to Chicago, played on Monday. Then they got on a plane and went to Philly and played on Wednesday. And then you'll fly back home and now you're playing again on Friday. That's fucking 5 games in 7 days. That's insane.
We have a wicked schedule right here up front, and I don't know. We got Bulls Friday, Charlotte Sunday, at Boston Tuesday. And I'm one of the motherfuckers who feel like a full complemented Cavs team could have beat Boston in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That situation just wasn't meant to be. And so I wonder, because Boston currently is the number 2 team in the East, and I feel like they they playing great ball. Boston out there playing some crazy shit, but so are we right now. So I want to see what that means, and how we get down on that particular game. I'm not saying I'm not saying the Bulls and Charlotte automatically. Like I said, in fact, I think the Bulls might get us this week, get us Friday, but it's a winnable game numbers wise. Charlotte, same thing. Winnable game. Boston, I think, is a good test and a good testament to what we can do out here. So we can rip those 3 right there and do 3 straight, 3 more, 3 straight again, I guess, whatever. Keep the streak alive. That's 16-0. And again, that puts us at the number 2 slot of all time starter. You know what I'm saying? 16-0 would be dope. So best of luck to us. And we'll see how that rolls. But yeah, like I said, it's been super fun to watch. It's crazy watching Donovan Mitchell's shoes out there because they glowed. And he rocked these green Adidas, and they so bright. And I'm like, that's the shoe you went for. That's what you chose, baby.
I mean, he's had like different styles of shoes. Like he's got like when he was in Utah, apparently he had his like it was his Spida. He had like this Venom shoe that, and it was kind of like modeled after like Marvel's Venom.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like, I knew Donovan Mitchell, who he was and everything, but like I didn't keep up on his shoes, obviously, until he was traded to the Cavs.
Yeah.
By the time he got traded here, those shoes are already like been out, and you know, like I'm not paying for a couple $100 for some shoes I'm not going to wear, you know?
Yeah. Like, there's a pair of Venom shoes out there that you didn't possess. That's wild.
I mean, there's a lot of shit out there that I don't possess.
You love you some Venom, and you keep Venom things, pretty much a foot.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Venom things. Like,
yeah.
You sent me that email like a week or two ago for that figure, but like I looked at it. I went, oh, that's awesome. I wish I had that. But I didn't order it. Money's been tight. We're in a blood-sucking economy here.
Mondo figures are always expensive. They charge entirely too much.
Yeah, they got Ghostbuster ones out that are coming out now too that like are sweet as hell. Yeah. Like it's like they're modeled off the cartoon.
Yeah,
and so they got like Venkman coming out with Sam Hain.
Yeah,
but it's like $200, and I'm like, man, I could swing it, but I would rather put that $200 like towards my mortgage or something.
I love toys. I appreciate them, so forth and so on. Not at that level. I'm not there. Like, somebody want to gift me a $200 Ghostbusters toy. Not really, because I'm not a Ghostbusters guy. So what you end up doing is me giving the toy to Dan. It just be coming through me. But that's about that when it comes right down to it. But I'm quite happy, quite proud as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, as a Clevelander that we're out here playing a damn game.
It's been nice. Like I've been watching like every game.
Yeah.
And my buddy last year, because like his company is one of the companies that like sponsors the Lake Erie Monsters.
Yeah.
And I think the Cleveland Charge too at one point. I don't know if that was a package deal or what. But because like the Cavs basically own the Monsters and shit, he gets all kind of like similar perks where he gets to like go to like events and stuff that he's taken me to. I've talked about in the past. And the Cavs people give him and his company like free stuff all the time, is like incentives for like being a sponsor, or like gifts to try and get them to re-sign their sponsorship, or to like sign on. Like there's a courting process that happens in these negotiations that I've been privy to. And one of the gifts that they were given was a Darius Garland autographed NBA All-Star basketball from when the All-Star game was here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he passed that on to me last year as a gift. So like, but like last year, Darius Garland was playing horrendously bad. And like, I was very frustrated with him. And so like, I never did anything with the ball. He gave it to me, and it's been sitting on top of my dresser on a pile of stuff for the last year. And in light of Darius Garland's improved play, I finally went out on Monday, like literally 3 days ago, and bought a basketball display case for this basketball. Proper. And now it's in it. So it's a proper enclosure to be displayed and protected, because Darius Garland decided to learn how to play basketball again.
So was it really Bickerstaff the whole time? We just really needed a new coach to get these people to be all they could be.
So I think part of it with Garland was, I think they've made it sound like he didn't really recover from getting his jaw broken last year to where he was fully healthy the rest of the year. Like he came back, but he wasn't really like at full strength.
Yeah.
I get that. But he also made some horrible fucking decisions, and their offense was not conducive to utilizing everyone who was on the team.
Yeah. And
then I've seen like the local sports show that they do on YouTube. We've talked about it before on here, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. The guy who runs that show, I don't know his real name, but he goes by McNuggets. I know it's Mikey something.
Mikey McNuggets. That's what that motherfucker say his name is. That's what it's gonna be.
Well, when he first started the show, they went to pick him a nickname, and he got voted that he'd be McNuggets. I mean, but that's not his real name. But anyway, he does a really good job of like piecing together video clips of plays for breakdowns.
Yeah,
he does a Cavs show with Jason Lloyd, who's like a reporter for the Athletic, who reports for the Cavs.
Yeah,
and he put together some clips for their Cavs show that they did the other night, and he was showing like these breakdowns of these picks that the Cavs are running, where they start off as fake cuts, where the player acts like he's gonna like cut through the lane or cut baseline or something, but instead he's actually cutting to pick off another player.
Yeah,
and that's freeing up people for like these rotations where they're doing this like the drives with the swing passes.
Yeah,
and it's like nothing that the Cavs ran at all last year. Like the Cavs last year were almost exclusively like a high pick and roll team.
Yeah,
and like that just ends up with like I was watching part of like the NBA TV coverage for like the let's be honest, like the Chinese like accounts that like steal the video clips from these like television stations.
Yeah,
and they put them up on YouTube, and then it's like it'll be like a 30-minute video. The first 15 minutes are the actual video, and the last 15 minutes are like some Asian person doing
Asian
like
man
origami or drawing or something.
Well, the one I caught the other night was some Asian man literally, I think, discussing what we just saw, just in a language I was not aware of, so hip to. And them dishes is definitely not Chinese. It is definitely you know what I'm saying? I'm like, them letters them letters is our letters, but that is definitely, it's probably Vietnamese. Now that I think about it, Laotian and that general neck of the woods is what, because those last names kind of have that not style, but that look to them. So,
well, but anyway, so the clip that I watched last night, the one guy on NBA TV was talking about how the Cavs were primarily a high pick and roll team last year, and that the reason why he thinks the Cavs are playing so much better this year is because in the new offense, every player gets to touch the ball.
Yeah.
Where in high pick and roll, it's really just two players at the top running the pick and roll, and then the other three are kind of just standing stationary on the outside, not moving.
Yeah.
In this new offense, everyone has to move. The ball swings. Everyone's involved. So people are more engaged. The ball has a quote-unquote more energy to it. There's more life in the team. So everyone's more excited to contribute. So it's more of an upbeat, happy environment to play in. And it also puts more pressure on the defense because now they can't just sit and guard the pick and roll. They have to watch all the movement on the whole court. And it gets hard when you're trying to defend like a pick, and then all of a sudden the ball is swinging like 2-3 swings around the perimeter, and now you're scrambling to try and block like a jump shot.
Yeah.
So like that's why we're getting so many open corner threes and everything, because these swing passes.
Yeah.
And like when they played Golden State last week, Draymond Green was talking about how we basically beat them at their own game because that offense that we're running is like the new age version of the stuff that they've been doing for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And they've been one of the most successful teams with their 3-point shooting. And so it's like Kenny Atkinson working as an assistant with the Warriors, definitely he brought like a lot of stuff that he learned from his time there here to us. And like right now it's we're clicking on all cylinders.
The Ted Lasso of the Cleveland Cavaliers, y'all. Kenny Atkinson's word up to coach. On top of the one time. I love it. And if you don't, well, you maybe don't fuck with basketball. But if you do fuck with basketball, I'm telling you right now. So just we'll lean toward football right quick. What I have taken to doing this season. Now, one, I do have an NFC team. I've had an NFC team for years. Everybody knows I fucking root for the Eagles. Black quarterbacks, y'all. But what I have been doing in general this NFL season is just watching football and being like, hey, that's a good time to watch some football or some highlights and so forth and so on, which is made for a much more chill vibe situation because I'm not rooting for any. I root for the Eagles, but I don't root for the Eagles. I don't put in that kind of work. Like I'm getting notifications on my phone right now about the score, but I mean, I'm not really, like I said, I'm not super gung-ho about it. But just vibing and kind of enjoying football for the game has made for, I'm just like, I'm impressed with this Steelers team doing what they're doing. Once again, the Steelers are just going to be just going to quietly win a shitload of games, get put out in the first round of the playoffs, and everybody will be fine with it. It's just how it works. And it's like, yeah, that's basically how that works. But it's been fun seeing the Commanders kind of light up and do crazy shit. Because like I said, when you ain't got no horse in the race, watch somebody throw a Hail Mary against the Bears becomes like, yeah, that's fun. That's a good thing to be. That's a good time to watch that shit. Like I said, can't be bothered with the Browns because that organization is just, I got a story about the Browns in our news segment. Worry not. So, but I can't be getting hurt. Can't be taking that in my heart no more.
I mean, outside of gambling and fantasy football purposes, in my mind, football season's over. It's been over for like 3 weeks now.
Exactly. So then you just, like I said, just watch the games like, oh shit, hey, check that out. Wow, that dude made that field goal. The Lions are a great team, super fun team to watch because they coach be trying to fucking put a mud hole in motherfuckers. I'm like, that's what it is. That's respectful. That don't run up the score. Fuck that. All I want to see is people score. Run it up like it's college. Whoop all their asses.
If the fucking Lions had scored one more touchdown last Sunday, I would have won $750.
See, that's why we need. It's my pleasure.
Instead, they threw 5 fucking interceptions and cost your boy.
Bruh, I mean, that shit, and their coach even said as much. That's just wild. And if you watch him, it's not like he was like one like pick bounce off somebody's head. Okay, that's a pick. That's not a he threw it to somebody wildly. It really wasn't any of that going on. That golf was just singing shit in weird ways. It'd be like, oh, somebody almost had it, flip in the air and it'd be in the air for too damn long. So it's like, I get it. So it was man, used to be on ESPN. Rich Eisen has a podcast, a football podcast, and I see clips of that show up on the TikTok. And
Rich Eisen does his own show.
Yeah. He was one of his co-hosts was like, Jared Goff is going to be the reason the Lions don't go to Super Bowl or lose Super Bowl. And Rich Eisen like, what did he say? He said, that's the wildest thing you ever said on this program. Get out of here with that nonsense. He goes, I was done with that. He goes, I was over that game when the game was over. We moved right past it. I'm like, there you go, man. That's facts. It's just like, again, just watching football has been real fun. And that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But let me get you a proper show started. Pull up my notes here. Get them on this side of the screen so I can kind of be squared up with the screen that I'm looking at. It's been a few weeks, y'all. We'll catch up as to why. The law of breaking the law was always too much for me to ever ignore. I got a thing for the big body Benzes. It dulls my senses. In love with the V-dub engine. Man, I'm high off life. Fuck it, I'm wasted. Bathe in 8 kicks. Audemars Piguet wrists. My women friends get tennis bracelets. Trip to Venice, get their winners replaced with the sun. It ain't even fun no more. I'm jaded. Man, it's just a game. I just play it to play it. I put my feet in the footprints left for me. Without saying the word, the ghetto's got a mental telepathy. Man, my brother hustled so naturally. Up next was me, but what perplexes me, shit. I know how the movie ends, still I play. A starring role in Ho Vito's way. It's just life. I solemnly swear to change my approach. Stop shaving coke. Stay away from hoes. Put down the toast because I be doing the most. Oh no, but every time I felt that was that, it called me right back. It called me right back. Man, it called me right back. Oh no, welcome to it. It's episode 556. Let's examine returns, appeals, rights, and claims for a refund. I'm your host, Dennis Taylor 713, joined by my other host, Lunchbox 2099. What's good, big baby?
The Cavs, that's what's good.
It's good, and I accept it as such. That's how he gets down to get down. We've been out of business for a few weeks here, y'all. Just honestly, God, just stuff was happening. I had surgery on this eye. And you can't get real up on it, motherfucker. But turned out what I had believed this whole time was just a sty. Was I forgot what she called it. It's a cyst of some sort. Yeah, I got the bill right here. I wonder if it says it on there. Just got the bill in the mail every day. I wonder if it says what that shit was. I doubt it because that's not usually how bills work. But they had to cut that bitch out, which is a wild thing to do. So imagine, if you will, right in the corner of your eye, they like, I'm gonna hit this shit with a needle to numb it. And then you slowly but surely feel the tiniest, most delicate pair of scissors in a woman's hands going around, cutting out a cyst from my eye, and then burning it shut, quite literally. I mean, you can hear like the little, the hiss of your meat's cooking. And I was like, okay. It didn't feel great because both my eyes had been numbed. At one point, they put drops in your eyes to make your eyes numb so they could test some things and so forth as well. And so I drove home like that, and I was like, shit, I've had somebody, they think, no, you'll be fine. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't feel fine. I'll tell you that shit right now. But as we were getting towards showtime, man, it really started hurting. Like whatever they'd given me in that case and whatever I had taken before that had worn off. And I was like, sir, I don't think I'm be able to do a show tonight. And Box, of course, was quite like, I worry not. And the next week was Halloween. And Box does Halloween. He, gave out candy. How did Halloween go? I mean, I don't know if that's a part of your whatever, but did everything go well? You get kids coming through and get some candy given out?
Yeah, my brother was over and he was passing out candy again.
Good.
And I had bought like 2 giant bags of like variety candy from Sam's Club. Like I spent like $35 on candy for the kids for the neighborhood. And we definitely had more kids this year than we did last year.
Yeah.
And because my brother was giving out like handfuls, by the time like Halloween or trick-or-treating was over, we only had a little bit of like the cauldron left. So there was not like there was definitely some candy consumed in the house to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like last year where it was like a giant bucket. It was just like the bottom of the bucket. So definitely a good turnout.
Excellent. The weather was way nicer.
There was definitely compliments too, like on like the Gengar stuff I had in the window. When my buddy had painted a One Piece logo on a pumpkin, some kids recognized that. I had gotten a Pennywise floor mat off of Temu, and some kids were like, "Oh my god, it's the It Clown!" And like, so there was definitely like some compliments on the scenery from the trick or treaters.
Actually, I'm glad it was appreciated. So that's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's a good time to be had. So I'm glad that went well. Week after that was the bad news of the country, and I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it. And so I was in a state last week, y'all. I'm not in a great place right now, but I'm better than I was last week. And so I was just like, I cannot do this. And Box again was like, I understand. We are good. So that's 2 for me. I guess you can kind of give Box Halloween, but no, whatever. That's basically on the schedule. We knew what was up with that one. But worry not, back at it, doing the thing again. See, I put up an old episode last week, and what you call it? Our one guy on Twitter who always shows us love again, and was like, "Yo, that's crazy to see how the show has changed." And goes, I don't even know Gabe like that. And I was like, "Yeah, you go." You know what I'm saying? You got a little old school. I put up episode 2 something, 12 years of Heffalump. So, and that episode was only 30 minutes, and we definitely recorded that where we used to hang with Jasper. What is that building called? In the BP building. You know what I'm talking about. So 200 Public Square. Is that what that was? 200 Public Square? Yeah. So that's an OG episode that I put up last week, just to tide the folk over. But also, like I said, I do Cadillac on Mars. November's Cadillac on Mars is up. We do the Bake Off show every week, so that's up. It's not like you can't hear our lovely voices. And also, like I said, we got a backlog. Go back, listen, enjoy. Plenty of podcasts to be had. So we all to the good in that regard. But that's what get you caught up on what was going on in that regard. My eye is fine. It feels good. And it's nice to not have that little bubble in there. Only reason I got it taken care of is because I was something had pulled my so this eye sucks. My left eye is bad. It has what's called a neuropathy in it, meaning some of the nerve in my is damaged and dead. The why of that has never been fully explained to me. Just is. And so that eye is kind of bad. And when I took my eye test for my driver's license on my birthday, or the day before my birthday, actually, I was like, man, that eye sucks. This eye got this motherfucking bubble on it. I should probably get that fixed, because what if that is something worse? And then I'm just fucked up on both eyes. I'm like, I need that one to be all right. So that's what I when I went to the eye doctor, I hollered at and I was like, hey, constantly asked me, do I want to do something about this? Do I want to do something about this? This year, yes, I'd like to do something about this. Whatever. And they were like, oh, no worries. We'll get you a referral over to this eye clinic that's out in Avon. And done and done. And I owe Post Insurance a whopping $50. I don't want to hold that up. There's a lot of information. Well, actually, there's like no information on this bad boy. I guess you can see my real name. But a whopping $50 is what I owe. So I'm like, not bad. A whole ass surgery. Literally, it was a surgery in that situation. And only owe $50. Word to decent insurance, y'all. But a couple of news stories. Some animated assholes. Box will share some stuff with him. We'll tell you our entertainment. Entertainment will probably not run long per se, but it's a lot of entertainment to be had in there. So, because we've been, gone for a few weeks. But let's get to it. It's from the Ohio Capitol Journal. Megan Henry on the byline. Ohio transgender bathroom ban heads to Governor Mike DeWine's desk. Once DeWine receives Senate Bill 104, he will have 10 days to sign it into law or veto it. He'll probably veto it because that's how Mike DeWine gets down, but it's veto proof. They have enough votes to that this will just become the law of the land here shortly. A bill that would ban transgender students from using school bathrooms and locker rooms that align with their gender identity is going to Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's desk. The Ohio Senate voted to, let me pull this over here. That way I'm looking at the camera. The Ohio Senate voted to concur on Senate Bill 104 in a 24/7 party line vote Wednesday afternoon. The Ohio House wove? That can't be. Waved has got to be the word, right? Wove is not it. Wove is like for weaving fabrics. I'm going to, check you on this with Megan Henry. The Ohio House waived House Bill 183, the bathroom ban bill, it is wove, because she's right. I'm sorry, Megan, I'm wrong. Wove the House bill into the Senate bill and passed the bill before going on break at the end of June. Once DeWine receives SB 104, he will have 10 days to sign the bill into law or veto it. We have no new comments today. DeWine's press secretary, Dan Tierney, said in email Wednesday afternoon, as far as receipt, sometimes that can take a week or more. The bill would require students at Ohio K-12 schools and colleges to use the bathroom or locker room that aligns with their gender assigned at birth. It would not prevent a school from having a single occupancy facilities. The bill would not apply to someone helping a person with a disability or a child younger than 10 being assisted by a parent, guardian, or a family member. About 3% of high school students identify as transgender, according to a recent data from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The American Medical Association officially opposes policies preventing transgender individuals from accessing basic human services and public facilities consistent with gender identity. State Senator Jerry Sereno, Republican, Kirtland, introduced SB 104, which revises the College Credit Plus program, and he spoke with the House adding the bathroom bill to his bill. It revolves around safety, security, and I think common sense, he says. It protects our children and grandchildren in private spaces where they're most vulnerable. It is using our legislative authority to ensure schools are, in fact, safe environments. After all, bathrooms, showers, changing rooms should all be safe places for our students. Senate Democrats spoke in opposition to weaving the bathroom ban into SB 104. We could not wait 1 week, not one single week, before we start attacking children once again in the legislative body today. Legislative body said State Senator Bill DeMora, Democrat of Columbus. State Senator Kent Smith, Democrat of Euclid, said SB 104 started off as a good piece of legislation that got turned into something that certainly not what was intended when the chamber last heard it. Lame duck often takes good legislation and makes it terrible, he said. If the bill becomes law, Ohio Senate Minority Leader Nikki Antonio, Democrat Lakewood, said it is destined for litigation. I'm in disbelief that this is the top priority of our first session back from recess, Antonio said. This bill is not about bathrooms. It's about demoralizing those who are different, and our children are watching and listening to the fear-mongering. State Representative Beth Lear, Republican Galena, and Adam Byrd, Republican of New Richmond, introduced House Bill 183 last year, and it has received lots of pushback from the LGBTQ plus community. More than 100 people testified against the bill in committee. Nearly a third of LGBTQ plus students said they were prevented from using the bathroom that aligned with their gender, and 26% were stopped from using the locker room that aligned with their gender, according to Ohio 2021 State Snapshot by GLSEN, which examines the school experience of LGBTQ middle and high school students. There's a little more to it, but this is what our country is now. So, there you go. Again, I don't believe the governor is going to sign this, but it will still go into effect because, like I said, it's got a veto-proof passage in the Ohio legislating. So it'll become the law of the land here soon. Then it'll go to court, and then one court will be like, "Oh no, fuck that," and then a higher court will be like, "You can ban anybody you want to ever use the body," because that's what these people think they want to do, until they see a trans man that they don't believe, who doesn't look anything like a lady, go into the ladies' room, and they're gonna be like, and it's gonna be like, yeah, well, that's the law. You know what I'm saying? Dudes are gonna have to use the ladies' room, I guess. Bullshit. From St. Cleveland, Mark Opper on the byline. Browns Brook Park Dome wouldn't host nearly as many events as Haslam promises, City Commission's study says. The report cites data from comparable venues in Detroit and Indy, which the Haslams have trumpeted as economic impact drivers. Last month, Mayor Justin Bibb announced the Browns owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam had decided to move their football team to a new $2.4 billion stadium village in Brook Park instead of working with Cleveland to renovate the existing stadium or find a site for a new build. Bibb put an emphasis on what it would mean to downtown. Shifting economic activity to Brook Park will weaken these existing public assets and be a net negative, not a positive, but a net negative for the region. The resulting financial hit, an economic report commissioned by the city and released Monday, details will be substantial. Cleveland would lose roughly $30 billion a year in a range of revenue, admissions, hotel, and property taxes, spending downtown bars and restaurants, along with fees associated with the lease at Huntington Bank Field. A driving force in the Haslam's decision was to build a dome that would be home to more than just Sunday home games. If the Brook Park Stadium hosts more than 50 non-NFL events per year, as the Haslams hope to have, then tens of thousands of concert goers that would head downtown for Billy Joel or WWE SummerSlam may no longer step foot in Cleveland's limits altogether. And neither would those artists. The only way to achieve the goal at 50 annual events is to draw patronage from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Progressive Field, Huntington Convention Center of Cleveland, IX Center, and other major venues, including conference hotels, the report reads. Therefore, the combined losses in economic activities of the city from losing the current stadium and major venue patronage would more than double. In addition, as Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Roane and Bibb have noted, the city and county have already poured hundreds of millions of public dollars into Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Progressive Field, the Convention Center, and the Hilton Hotel. But the question at hand is whether the Haslams could actually draw those 50 annual events, which would justify their inflated economic impact estimates. The study says it's not likely. Comparable markets in the Midwest have nowhere near that number. The Detroit Lions Ford Fields hosts about 12 non-football events a year. US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis has about 6. Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Indianapolis Colts play, has just 4. Based on the size of Cleveland, the Brook Park Stadium could expect to host around 4 major events and 4 or 5 smaller events, the report says. So 9, which definitely isn't the 50 proposed. David Sangri, a Cleveland-based expert in hospitality, in the hospitality industry, told Scene that he expects a modest negative for downtown if or when the Browns leave, but nowhere near the chaotic predictions the impact report suggests. I mean, the field house alone attracts over 200 events a year, Sangri said. So even if 5 or 10 move to Brook Park Stadium because they think they could attract bigger numbers, there's definitely potential that there are additional ones that could come to town that weren't coming before, because there was no capacity at the field house. In other words, Taylor Swift in January, Billy Joel in Brook Park, not on the lake, even if that means millions a year lost to Haslam-owned hotels and restaurants. Again, Sangri says, that's why I said it's a modest negative for downtown. But the report notes there are only so many of these types of events. There's a bit more to it, but basically, these motherfuckers don't like each other. Jimmy and D has them want this dome. Mayor Bibb and the Cuyahoga County executive are like, y'all can't be dipping out on us like this. Y'all gonna fuck up the money. And so they both have reports that are saying, no, we're gonna do this out here. And then they got a report that say you can't possibly do that out there. And it's probably somewhere in the middle. And the effects are probably somewhere in the middle. But that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, fuck the Browns ownership. We have a terrible squad. They don't deserve a new stadium. And I don't know what will come of that. I'm not saying like I said, Brook Park is literally you go one street one way, you'll be in Parma. You go one street one way, you're in Cleveland. Brook Park is just on the edge of a lot of different cities. So it's not like they're taking this bitch out to Richfield if it happens. And also apparently, you know what I'm saying, that's a big old if right now because apparently Brook Park is like, I don't know, bud. So we'll see if they can whip up $2.4 billion to get this dome built, but tis what it is, y'all. But I thought I'd share some Cleveland news and Ohio news with you, the listeners, and keep you up on the good shit. But you know what it is, y'all, and I get to do this now. I forgot I had this. I didn't forget I had it, but I forget that this is a part of the situation now. We get to do some story time with Lunchbox.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
It had a little bit of a hiccup in his start. I was like, why is it not starting? But it still makes me laugh.
Yeah, for a minute there, I thought it was me.
No, that bad boy was like, I'm like, why is this not going? And then I heard it start talking. I'm like, all right, we good. Sir, what is going on in your world that you care to share with us or me and so forth and so
on? We've started decorating the house for Christmas already.
Fuck yeah, you have. Yes.
Yeah, I become one of those people. So my buddy the other day was like, "Oh, I'm gonna clean the living room." This was on Veterans Day. Yeah, and I was like, "Well, fuck it. If you're gonna like tear apart the living room and move shit all around, I'm like, why don't we just grab the Christmas tree out of the garage and throw that shit up now? That way, like, we don't have to move all this stuff again." So brought all the Christmas stuff in and noticed that some of the strands on the tree were burnt out. So actually, no, this was Sunday. I'm sorry, this was the 10th that this happened. And so like we went up to Walmart and I ended up buying like $70 worth of Christmas stuff to add to the ambiance. So like 2 years ago I got the tree, and then like I got the tree skirt, and I bought garland, and I've been getting like keepsake ornaments and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so this year we added lights to the front window. So like I ended up buying like a 60-foot strand of like multicolor plastic bulb lights, and we just kind of like ran them all around the frame of the bay windows in the living room. Yeah. And so like that's lit up there. The tree isn't all the way done yet because like he's actually probably working on it right now as we speak. And then I had bought at the Goodwill last year a bunch of those like things you put in your front yard that display the LED like light shows on people's houses.
The projectors.
Yeah, they're like little projectors. Like the one I have is like a laser.
Yeah.
And I had bought like 6 or 7 of them at this Goodwill, and I sold like 6 of them. I kept one because it was open product, and like the stake on it was broken or missing. And so I sold the other 6 though, or 5 or it had to have been 6. I think I had 7 of them, and I sold the other 6 all on eBay. And so he like basically finagled a new stake onto it. So now that's in the front yard, and it shoots like green and red lasers on the house. And it's kind of funny because like the angle it's at, some of them come up into the house. So on the living room, there's like a little mini green and red light show that goes on. So I'm excited too if like when the tree is actually done with all the decorations and the lights and everything, because like between that, the Christmas tree lights and the window lights, that's probably going to be the only illumination that the living room gets for the next like 2-3 months. But I'm here for that mood. Yeah, I don't know. Like I like the feel of the lights and the decorations and stuff. So. I've seen other people online that like immediately went from Halloween to Christmas, and I was like, "There's nothing wrong with being one of those people." So here we are.
Halloween basically starts in August. When pumpkin spice rolls out. So you go to August to the end of October, and you roll right into Christmas. Nobody's really doing anything there's no Thanksgiving decorations. You know what I'm saying? The world is decorated for Thanksgiving, and that all our leaves are orange and it's lovely and so forth.
Well, in my mind, Thanksgiving was when you started putting up Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of blending the two together. Thanksgiving's really just pre-Christmas.
For sure. I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh. Have you been, I don't know if I'm the type of dork who keeps up on the ornament game, because they make so many nerdy ornaments now. And like I've seen so many interesting things or any interesting ornaments this year. There's a really nice Sonic the Hedgehog one that I saw at the Hallmark store.
The one where he goes in the loop and collects the rings and it plays the song. Yeah, I saw that. I almost bought that one.
That one's super nice. There's like a full, like almost like, I don't know, like it's like a Disney World situation. It's got a bunch of Disney land, like Disney World, or I don't know, Disney property, like, rides and stuff, and you can connect them all up and basically get a whole vibe going of Disney things, and it's so cool. You know what I always wanted, and I've never done it, and I don't think I can now as I look at this living room, but maybe someday. I always wanted, like, when the people have the train go around the bottom of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd like that. Or a train that goes around the tree, like one of those that kind of like is up, that kind of goes around and through the tree. I'm saying you'll see that in movies, and or some people. I'm like, that could be kind of dope. So huge fan of Christmas. It's kind of my jam, people. And so I very much oddly enough, I actually don't go as hard as I used to, but I have so much Christmas stuff in my attic that one day far off from now, if I ever have grandchildren, that'll be fun to have them come over and help Grandpa trim a tree and so forth and so on. As my children and what would be their parents are starting to just kind of like, you're getting old, old man. I'm sorry, guy. But yeah, I absolutely love it. What's your tree topper like? What kind of tree topper do you have?
So last year I used this vintage star that I got at a church rummage sale.
Yeah.
The year before, it was just a stuffed Grogu.
Fancy. So I have a Super Mario star themed star that Anthony got me, but I also have this one that Vanessa got for me from when Fierce Chocolates was open. They had a guy come through who did 3D printing of stuff. And so I have that one that could also, it is just house spot. It can go on the tree, and that's what it's actually for. But I actually just keep it over here on top of my Lego Nintendo situation. So that's where the star currently lives. So, and also I have another star that like I'd gotten years ago that I had before I got these. So I have that one. I have a nerdy wreath that I got from GameStop. Maybe what was the store that GameStop bought? Remember there used to be a nerd store that basically was online everywhere, and I figured GameStop absorbed them. Gosh,
damn, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think like the banner on it was like orange or something.
Yeah, something to that effect. And so I got their little nerdy wreath, and basically it's like just video gamey ephemera that surrounds a foam wreath, and you put a couple of double A's in it, and it lights up. Like I said, tons of little nerdy ornaments that we've collected over the years. I have a really cool Think Geek is exactly who I'm talking about. I have a really dope Zelda ornament. I have a nice set of Mario ornaments. I have a really sweet Batman light, I guess, ornament that you want to call it. But that one, I guess, I got to replace the batteries on, which is weird because I think it takes like a little, not in the watch batteries. What are the even smaller ones? I guess like hearing aid batteries. I guess is what I describe those as. What else do I have in the realm of? I don't know. Christmas is a big deal. Like I said, I absolutely love it. Even though I have this fireplace that doesn't really do fire, it's not a fireplace that has the angle that I can hang the stockings by the chimney with care because it's got a curved front on it, and so it does not do no well. But I do have some weighted stocking hooks that never work because of what I put in the stockings is far too heavy. Always, it's just full of chocolates and treats and everything like that there. So. But yeah, this is like I said, my absolute banger favorite time of the year. Xander said he wanted either tires or a laptop, and I'm like, I can probably make one of those happen. Tires. It's like, sir, what are you? No, I'm not buying tires. I get why it's practical as fuck, but still. And Lee asked me for something the other day. It was like, if you're looking for some Christmas ideals. Let's click on Lee's text messages from me. I feel like it was like just some clothes or something. Don't know. As I scroll through this, and of course I can't find it because when I need it, I can't find it. But like I said, I thought that was pretty swell. And this is like, okay, let's try to be, not spend too much money on us and blah blah, yakety smack. And I already got 2 presents for her already that she don't know exist. So it's like, yeah, sure thing. You won't spend no money, but I will. So it's like it's just what it is. So, but like I said, Christmas is my jam. As you know, man. And so I'm pumped that you were like, I'm doing it now. Let's see. Thanksgiving 2 weeks away, right? Yeah, 2 Thursdays away from right where we are now. So I'll probably that weekend is when I'm that kind of guy. I do it the Saturday after is when I try to get the Christmas tree down. And then it's like my tree is pre-lit, so I'm like, tree will be down, but then it's like I'll eventually get to dragging ornaments down and starting to do that and so forth and so on and start putting stuff around. But yeah, I like to kind of just spread it over the time and have a good time doing it. So respect to it, man. That's what's up, man. Anything else going on with you, man? How's your health, your well-being, your mental, everything? Just checking in.
Work's been fucking brutal as far as like the volume of work and the amount of hours I've been putting in.
Yeah.
I went over to my mom's a couple of Saturdays ago to go meet those kittens that she's been trying to get me to take for a couple months now. So I'm planning on absorbing those 2 kittens into my household. So,
really?
Yeah.
That did not seem as gung-ho as one would think.
Well, the thing about it was when I went over there and met them, I mean, they're small cats. They're only like 5 months old. They haven't done a ton of growing yet. But, like, they didn't really, like, give a fuck that I was there. Like, they were just kind of, like, doing their own thing. Because, like, right now they've been staying out on the porch. They, like, kind of made, like, a enclosure for them. And then, like, they bring them in the house to feed them and stuff when they, like, lock their dogs up.
Yeah.
And so, like, when the cats came in when I was there so I could kind of, like, get the lay of the land, they were just busy doing their own thing, playing and shit. They weren't really into, like, meeting me. So I was just kind of telling them, I was like, look, man, you guys need to make a good impression on me because I hold your future in the palm of my hands. So, like, if you want to be set up for the rest of your life, you may want to, like, kiss my ass right now.
I am shocked that you are bothering, well, I guess bothering you. I don't know, whatever turn of phrase you want to put in there. I'm shocked that you were bringing more pets into this operation. I figured you'd be like retired from that after saying you got your 10 to 2 cats, and I figured that'd be plenty.
I want my own. It's like his cats like lay on my bed. Like the girl cat will like stay in there, but like there's no like affection there. Mm-hmm. Like she likes me and everything, but like I'm not their cat dad, like
yeah.
Like they're cool with me. I'm like the uncle. So but like they don't come into my bed and like lay on me, and they don't like look like there's a different intimacy there than what he gets. And it's like I miss that. Like I'm not trying to replace my cats that are gone. Like I miss them both very much, and I love them both very dearly. But they're not here anymore. And the two cats that are here, like it's not the same. And so like I just decided to stop punishing myself and giving up the things I want. Like so I decided to like roll the dice with this and go ahead and like make the leap, and whatever happens down the line happens. But we're gonna see what happens.
Okay.
The issue is the only holdup so far has been I want to get them spayed, neutered, and like vaccinated and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I was actually gonna look up to see like if his cats are vaccinated, then like I don't know if it would matter if the other ones like say they had like feline leukemia. Like if his are vaccinated, I don't know if it would matter. So like if it doesn't matter, then I guess I literally could just bring them here at any point. All I would need to do is just get a second litter box. My plan is at some point is to get one of those litter robots and have it upstairs. That way there's 2 litter boxes in the house for the cats, and like hopefully they'll get used to using the litter robot one, and I can kind of have the upstairs not smelling like cat feces.
It is the goal.
Yeah. The problem is those things are fucking expensive. And this has been a very money-intensive 2 months for me.
Yeah.
Between like the Vegas vacation, the Wisconsin wedding, my auto insurance renewal, I have my yearly lawn care bill coming. Obviously, my normal bills. I took my car to the mechanic a couple weeks ago and dropped $500 on car repair there. So it's just I spent a lot of money on that Vegas trip, and then I just have not had any time to really recover since then. So this being a 3 paycheck month definitely helps. And while I have been working a lot lately, we are on overtime, so that is definitely helping a little bit. But obviously, bringing on 2 animals into my house comes with costs. Like they're not free, and they don't exist off nothing. Like that's going to be food, litter. That there's gonna be supplies. It's like there's a whole nother cost that I'm inviting into my life with that. Excuse me.
Yeah, veterinary care and all that and so forth. So
yeah.
I hear you. I see you, bro. But I guess
I did end up taking $344 out of my gambling bankroll a couple days ago to buy one of those in-home saunas. So not like a wooden like one. It's like they use like PVC piping to make kind of like a tent frame, and then there's like a zip over cloth that you go over the frame.
Yeah, your head pokes out on top, right?
They do make those, but that's not what I got. The one I got's like 6 feet tall or so I'll be able to stand up in it.
Yeah.
And it uses like infrared, and then it has like a hole where like there's like a steam machine that comes with it. That kind of shoots steam up into the tent, and then it uses infrared to like heat you up. So you get like the sauna effect, but you don't use like a space heater.
Huh. Have you ever not whatever? Have you seen the ones they sell at Costco?
No, I don't have a Costco membership.
Well, I mean, I know, but you're aware of Costco and its products. They have this like they sell this like I might just find the goddamn Costco sauna. I feel like because you have a permanent resident, you can be you can see these kind of things and be like, maybe Costco sauna. Yeah, I'm gonna slide it over to this screen so that I can share that screen F11 so y'all can't see all the business. And then I'll share here with you the viewers. Share screen. All right.
Oh yeah, those I've seen those on Instagram before. Like they're like little sheds you build in your backyard.
Yeah. So is this kind of your vibe? What you got kind of working with?
The one that I'm talking about is kind of like that one, but like it's gonna be a little bit bigger. Like the one I bought's like it says 2 people can fit inside of it.
Yeah.
I think I think the name of the brand I bought is Neuro something. Neurocover. Nurecover.
But like, look at. It's more like, look how many damn saunas you have, sauna options you have with.
Yeah, well, like those ones are like they're like actual rooms that get built, like they're like with wood walls and everything. Like what I'm talking about is just like it's like building like a fucking blanket fort.
Oh shit! Hold on. How do you spell yours?
Nure cover.
Your cover. Sauna. Let's throw all the words in there. It actually has one word. It's one word. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay.
Well, but I got like the Tropic Pro, so that like it would be bigger.
Free portable ice bath included. I love it. Come on, show me some other products. Do you have a portable Tropic? I don't want the Tropic. I want the Tropic Pro. Shop all.
Well, you click on the. It looks almost exactly the same. It's just bigger. It's a bigger version of that.
All right, so back.
Yeah, so basically what it is like it comes with like a PVC piping frame. You put the frame together, and then that black insulation goes around the piping, so you create like a little tent room.
Yeah.
It has like the window there in it so that you can see out. And it just, you go inside, you zip it up, and then you see like the little bottle thing on the ground next to it that feeds steam into the tent. And then it uses infrared inside to basically heat your body up. So it simulates like a gym sauna without having to have like a heater in there.
Yeah, and then they got, here's pictures of, y'all can see this, pictures of people, that have it in their house. So you kind of get an idea of what it could look like in your setup. I dig it. I take it you've been missing the sauna action that the gym provided.
Very much so. It was my favorite thing about going.
Yeah.
And like, sadly, it wasn't enough to keep me there, recently. But when I did go pretty regularly, it was the thing that I enjoyed the most.
Do you did yours come? Is yours coming with the ice bath? And is that something you think you'd fuck around with?
It is coming with the ice bath. I don't know how big it'll be, so I don't know if I will be able to. And like, it would require some sort of like setup because like I'm a big guy. That's a lot of water displacement.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be able to actually like use it in my current state to its full effect, but it will be coming. It was included.
I'm excited. Get to hang out and get your steam on. Is there anything they're like, hey, to make sure you don't, you're not steaming your house up, make sure you have a window open or whatever. What's the recommendations for that kind of situation, that kind of setup? So you're not,
I have no idea yet.
Making mold pop off, you know what I'm saying? Because you're steaming a corner of your crib.
Well, it doesn't go like it's enclosed.
Yeah.
So it's not like the shit's gonna like escape into the house like just up like while I'm using it. So I would imagine that you probably just wipe it down on the inside, but like I won't know until it shows up. I didn't like watch like a person on YouTube using it or anything. I knew they've existed because I've followed that account for a long time. And like I got hit with like a ad the other day that they were having a sale, and it's something that I've kind of wanted for a long time, like just have access to something like that in my house.
Yeah.
But like I don't have like a giant fancy mansion where I can just build a sauna room in my house. So this seemed like a pretty fair compromise for the cost.
Fair. I hear it, I see it, I respect it. So all to the good. Well, there you go, man. Box is doing okay. He's doing well. We're getting tired. I had a overtime situation, but not really because they ain't paying me. And basically, my boss is like, "You just make sure you put that on your time sheet, and you just you do what you will with the time." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just leave early tomorrow. I respect it." Because
that's what they were making us do for the longest time, and then they got to a point where they had to just let us work like basically until further notice because we had too much stuff coming.
So I don't normally put my work stuff on blast too much, but I got an op at work. I do not get down with. Fine human being otherwise, but I know that we don't have we don't vibe. And today, just out of the blue, was like, does anyone have the bandwidth to do my job basically today? Because I'm doing some other stuff. And I'm like, and I just kept quiet. I ain't say shit. I knew what it was gonna be, and it ended up being that. They're like, T, can you do this? And I'm like, fine. Then, end of the day, toward the end of their day, because they leave a little early. They send another message into the the atmosphere, and it's like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this other part of my job. I just want people to be aware. And so my boss hit me up, was like, are you gonna be able to do that? I go, yeah, apparently I'm doing her job today. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's what I was worried about. What else have you done? I explained that I did this job for her. That another part of her job that is definitely not done, I'm going to have to do, and then I have to do all this other part of her job. And that ended up me staying basically an hour over. It's nothing terrible. I wasn't there forever. But I'm not joking when I tell you, I did all of her job today. So what the fuck was she doing?
Right.
So, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not that dude. I don't bring too much work nonsense to this table. I try to keep work away from this. I love this. And you know what I'm saying? Work is a gig, actually pays for this, but it's not nothing I'm normally talking about. But today I was really kind of ticked off about it, bro. I'm telling you that. Because I'm going through and I'm doing it, and I'm like, you so-and-so. I can't even tell you about it because we do it live. And you speak, I can whisper in the box like we can just cut it out of the show. But now I'm live on the internet and I can't do nothing about it. Trust me, I'm mad about it.
Oh, dude, I was furious yesterday. Like I told you, I've been working a bunch of overtime lately. And I decided yesterday to I was not going to work past 6. I was going to go do Pokemon's raid hour. My brother was coming over. My buddy, we were all going to go do Pokemon raid hour from 6 to 7. We're going to come back to my house. And I was going to watch the Cavs game. I was going to have a more relaxed evening compared to I've basically been working 2 to 3 hours of overtime every day for last week.
Hell no.
And then I did 4 hours on Saturday. So far this week, we were off on Monday for the holiday. Yeah. But on Tuesday, I worked 2.5 hours overtime. Last night, I ended up doing an hour and a half, which I will continue. I will get to the finish of that story. And then tonight, I did 2.5 hours. So it's I've just been working OT nonstop for the last 2 weeks. But anyway, so yesterday I decided I told them I'm not gonna work past 6. I'm gonna do go to Pokemon raid hour, watch the Cavs game, kind of reset mentally because it's been a lot. And so they ended up having an issue with something that I had already finished. I brought this thing up to somebody the other day, and then they told me, no, it's this, an outside party from a different company. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So then I ended up doing it the way that they wanted, got everything finished, done, finished, right? Then when it's supposed to be going on, the final finished product, they come back and they go, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up. The thing that you told me about was actually supposed to be there the whole time. But the problem was they emailed me this 2 minutes after I left my workstation for lunch, which our lunch breaks are an hour. So I don't see the problem for an hour while the thing was supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
So I come back and then I can't just make it happen. There's regulations, numbers have to be ran, things have to be checked. So it's not I can just click my heels together and make shit happen in 3 seconds. So I send it to the parties that need to be involved. And then what I thought would be a quick turnaround ends up into a 3.5 hour project with multiple phone calls of oh, when's this going to be done? When do you think you're going to have this? And people taking forever to do something, and then one person does it, and then someone else comes behind them and redoes it and wants all the information that's already there sent to them because they can't find it, even though it's all there already. And then I told you, I was gonna leave at 6. We're 6:07, and this person emails me and they're like, oh, are you gonna be able to stay and do this? I'm I've already been staying. I was supposed to leave 7 minutes ago. I don't think you realize I don't work till 6. I work till 5. I've been here for an hour and 7 minutes now when I didn't need to be. Like, are you going to have this done in the next couple minutes? Because I'm already supposed to have been somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, like, 6 minutes later, they finally get it to me. And then when I go in there to finish up what I needed to redo from before, I still couldn't do it because there was something blocking me that they didn't clear. So I had to send it back to them again to have them fucking finish it. So, like, by the time I got everything redone and sent back out the door, it was like 6:25. And I like, luckily we ended up being able to like find a couple extra raids that went past 7. Yeah. So we ended up doing 6 raids in an hour, but still it was the principle of the matter that like, they just assume that like, I'll drop everything in my fucking life to like stay behind and make something happen when like everybody else fucks up. Yeah. But then like, if I make a mistake, it's like people coming at me like, how could you not know this and that and the other? And why did you not do this? But like, if other people do something, it's just so like, oh, well, you'll fix it, right? Like, you don't need to be anywhere, right? You can hang out, right? Like, you'll stay. You always will stay, right? Like,
because luckily, and I'm not joking when I say it, my boss was like, oh, it went down like that today. Okay, and I can just tell, and I realize this is just words that I read on the screen. I'm like, oh, you about to light that broad up tomorrow, ain't you? So tomorrow's going to be a fun day for that person because it's going to be like, what the fuck is going on that you couldn't get your work done? I need to know. Because if T had to do his job, see, mind you, that's another thing I think. I still had to do my job in addition to their job. That's where it's some bullshit at, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's me pulling from the atmosphere to be like, okay. And actually what it ended up being is I was like, well, some of my job, I'm just not going to be able to do today. And I'll get to it tomorrow. And I hope none of this is time sensitive. We'll find out tomorrow. Because the things that she needed to have done are indeed time sensitive and also day sensitive because it has to be addressed on the day of. So then tomorrow it can get addressed by the people who need to address what happens. I gotta find my zen because I can't be mad about this shit no more, bro. It's just stupid of me to be carrying it, but fucking hell, bro.
Well, I mean, I get it, dude. Like, part of the reason why I had to work so much overtime last week is because, like, when I took off for Halloween on the 30th, 31st, and the 1st, like, I was off that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
While I was gone, no one did any of my work. So I come back into work on that Monday. And like literally every piece of my work was active and undone. And so like, and then it's just like people being like emailing you like, oh, are you gonna be able to get this done? Oh, I sent you this. Why haven't you done it yet? Oh, hey, this is needs to be done by this date because of this reason or whatever. And it's just like, I'm like, I can only do one fucking thing at a time. And when I come back to 37 things, someone's just gonna have to be upset.
Yeah,
because I literally can't do every fucking thing all at the same damn time. And, you know, and if I don't stay, I'm never going to get caught up. Yeah. It's never going to happen. There's not enough hours in the day for me. I can't do 4 days worth of work in one day. It's just impossible, especially with the amount of work that we have right now, volume wise.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't give them what they would want if I don't work these fucking hours. And like, don't get me wrong, with the way the world is right now and where I'm at, like after these vacation and everything, I could definitely use the money. But there becomes a balance between needing the money and just being fucking burnt out and not wanting to do the shit anymore. Exactly. Especially when you don't like most of your job anymore to begin with on a surface level. Yeah. That like you like when you and the majority of the people you work with openly talk about not wanting to do your job at your company anymore. It becomes very difficult to also want to then do extra hours on top of the hours you have to do that you don't want to do to begin with.
Yeah. It's, yeah. Anyway. Otherwise, y'all, life ain't so bad. The kids are good. Vanessa's good. My mom is good. My mom is currently packing house. House is on the market. And
she's moving?
Yeah, moving to Virginia to be close to my sister. And so that is the house is the The houses in her neighborhood have been selling relatively quickly, so she thinks that it'll be a done deal much sooner than later. So that is what's going down with that. So my mom will be in my time zone for the first time in a very long time, so that'll be nice. Plus, Virginia's just down the road. Plus, I'm saying, I got Nick in DC, so if anything, like if going to visit Virginia means I can always stop by DC and see the homie Nick Jew. So it's lovely. Everything all works out, So I'm excited for her, and she's excited herself. My brother is currently his plan is just to stay in Kansas a little longer, but he's like, I might move myself over to Virginia because he likes Virginia too. So it's really nice. I don't know if I'd move to Virginia, but it's not bad. It's a very lovely state. My sister's in Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. That's where she stayed, and so it's of course it's just lovely. It's a beach, beachside town, so it's very nice. But I'm not sure if that's for me, but who knows? I don't ever want
Was
to.
Virginia the place a couple of years back where the white people were walking around with tiki torches?
Yeah, that was in Charlottesville, Virginia, in particular. If you wonder where that location was, so yeah, they yeah. Anyway, well, good people on both sides, apparently. Good people on both sides. So that's how we'll get down with that. Because these men can't make torches anymore because they don't know how to do that. Because their grandparents didn't pass that knowledge on to their daddies and then on to them. So they went to Home Depot and bought tiki torches because that's the same thing as a torch.
Hey, man, what I call that is resourceful.
I call it keep mosquitoes at bay. Well done. You did that.
That's just a bonus. You don't want to be getting bit up on your protest raid.
You're going to be racist. No, why get bit by mosquitoes too? Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
Just so
you don't want to be outraged and itchy.
Yeah, there you go. I'd written down something else, but outraged and itchy did it for me. Made me laugh. Outraged and itchy is your show title. But yeah, okay, you're caught up. That's all we're gonna do, and then so let's jump on over to these Reddit meme streets. Each week we head on over to the subreddit for a little bit of. I want you to know I'm constantly at this point hacking together videos for use in the various programs we create on this network, and so it'd be popping like for the Bake Off show we did the other day. As it turns out, there are two different intros, at least for this week, for the American version, the international version, forgive me, and the UK version. I noticed it because I'd watched the UK version early because and I tell you why on the show, which will be up tomorrow. So by the time you hear this, it was up a week. And in the universe, so I ended up finding a way. Well, no, basically my computer has the ability I can do some screen records because I have OBS and stuff installed on here. And so I screen recorded the version, the opening from the British version and the international and I screen recorded the international version. Got them to work. Had to do all kinds of work to get that to work, and then cut that together in a video to present to the listeners and more of the viewers so they could see the difference in the intros of the the UK and the international version of the show. And I thought it was pretty sweet. But nothing for nothing. Emma the Asshole. We go to the subreddit Emma the Asshole. I pull some and we read a couple of them and we decide if these people were or were not assholes. Your options this week, Dan, are as follows. Am I the asshole for leaving the room after my boyfriend, quote, surprised me? Am I the asshole for not ordering any food so I wouldn't have to split the bill? Am I the asshole for asking my dad to give me at least half of the money my mom owes me?
Well, the second one sounds like a no automatically. Like if you didn't order anything, why would you have to split a bill? 3, I don't know. I'd want my money too. So I guess we're going number one.
Let's start right there. Am I the asshole for leaving the room after my boyfriend surprised me? This is from user Unusual Red Flower 979. My 23 female boyfriend, 26 male, has been away for almost a month and was supposed to return this morning from his trip, but told me that in the last minute he decided that he wanted to stay one more day at his sister's, who he hadn't seen in a while. His place. Whew. I had been waiting excitedly for an entire month just to see him. Made some decorations and wore his favorite clothes, ordered his favorite snacks, etc. And was very disappointed and upset when he changed the plans last minute. He had no particular reason to want to stay one extra day, so that made me even more upset. The thing is, he has surprised me in the past by showing up earlier than he was supposed to. So I asked him at least 5 times whether he's lying to me because he wants to surprise me, because if he is, I would be really upset to be disappointed, only to realize that it's not real, and do not forgive me, want to go through a set of negative emotions for no reason.
Nah, she wanted to know where he was going to be at so she could cheat.
Okay. He said he is being genuine and even sent me a screenshot of the canceled ticket. So I let it go, took down the decor, changed, ate some of the snacks, and cried myself to sleep. But guess what happens? He shows up on the day, today morning. Today morning? Okay. He was supposed to. I was obviously happy to see him, but not as enthusiastic as I should have been. He asked me why I was being somewhat dry and distant, so I explained that I had told him clearly that I didn't want to feel disappointed for no reason, and him telling me intricate lies that made me feel really sad, only to show up anyways, made me feel like he didn't really value my feelings. He got mad and said that I was being unreasonable because everyone likes surprises. That is not true, sir. I told him that while usually I do, this absolutely did not feel like a surprise, and left the room to my friend's room. I got a bunch of text messages from him saying I'm being unreasonable and that I'm overreacting. My friend also thinks that maybe I'm being a bit unreasonable to leave him alone when I haven't seen him in so long. So now I feel a little guilty for walking out. Am I the asshole?
Nah, this guy's crying wolf with you a bunch, playing with your emotions, and then he's gaslighting you for it.
Right down the middle. Literally nothing else really has to be said. The facts have been laid bare. This dude is wild. When you tell somebody straight up, don't do this, and they do it anyway, they are not respecting your boundaries that you set clearly. Not to get TikTok, but that's a red as fuck flag, my guy, or my gal, as it were. No, we don't get down with that. That's crazy. No, you're not the asshole. Big glow in the dark comment, because we can do that again, as y'all recall. Not the asshole. He has the nerve to ask you why when you so clearly and considerably outline the reasons for him. That leaves 2 possibilities. 1, holy shit, he's stupid. 2, he values his plans over your feelings. Neither of those are good things. Also, in this instance, do not allow friends to pressure you into swallowing your feelings. Do not let him use their opinions as pressure. The relationship is between you two. The friends were not privy to your conversation and your real feelings in the moment. They didn't hear your vulnerability when you explained it to him how easily he lied to you about his plans. This isn't a surprise, but a mean-spirited prank where he's chuckling at how sad you feel and then hoping to be the hero when he shows up early. He's throwing a tantrum because he's not receiving the attention he wanted by pretending to restrict your access to him. And honestly, it's not even that good of a prank. You clearly called it and addressed it directly. It's something he's done before. If he wants to surprise you, maybe he should have been less predictable. I'd have honestly made plans not to be home. Surprise! I made plans that don't include you. And why are you upset? You weren't supposed to be back. He needs to grow the fuck up and get a sense of humor that doesn't come from your expense. Thank you, Daifukumochi 8282, sir, madam, whomever. That's real. Oh, somebody else says another glow in the dark comment. This guy is bad news. He's training you to give in and ignore her own feelings. He's training her to give in and ignore her own feelings. Bruh, no, you're not the asshole. This dude's a jerk. And he needs some act right, or he gonna get broke up with. And that's just what it is. So an asshole. All right. Let's do this food one. I think you'll appreciate it. Am I the asshole for not ordering any food so I wouldn't have to split the bill? This is additional wasabi 357 is the user. I, 27 male, have been part of a small friend group of around 8 people total, basically since college. For some background, 2 people from the group, Susan and Greg, are just absolute leeches. Going out for lunch, expect them to order the most expensive thing on the menu, then feed you some sob story about their finances, and then dump half the bill on you. Last weekend, Dan, one of the people from the group, told me about a casual dinner. I told him how if Susan or Greg were there, I wouldn't be able to come. He tells me that they wouldn't be there, but he told me that they would be there, but I should just put my opinions to the side and come just once. This is the kind of where I might be the asshole. I agreed with him and told him I would be there. I show up and we all get to talking. Everyone began putting in their orders. Most of them spent about $40. There were only 6 people. When it gets to Susan and Greg, they both order expensive dishes, around $200. When it's my turn to order, everyone looked at me. I just picked up the menu, pointed to the $4 Miller Lite, and sent the waiter away. Dan asked why I hadn't ordered anything, and I said that I lost my appetite. The other 2 friends got up as well to cancel their orders and just have drinks. After the main courses came out, I saw Susan and Greg picking at their food. The waiter then brings over the check. Greg then grabs the waiter and asks him to split the check 6 ways. I stand up and correct him, saying the check was to be split 3 ways. Greg looks at me confused and asks why, since we always split the bill. I reminded him that 3 of us had not eaten any food, so we're just paying for our drinks. So basically, at the end of the night, Dan, who probably only ate around $50 worth of food, was stuck with $146.98 check at the end. Yes, I remember the exact number. I swear I saw his jaw drop when he picked the receipt up. I slid a 10 toward the check, said goodbye to everyone, and walked out. The next morning, I found my phone full of texts from Greg and Susan telling me I was an asshole for not ordering any food and forcing them to pay more than they had accounted for. I honestly laughed because the stakes all alone were more than what they had paid, but to each their own, right? I also got a lot of messages from Dan saying that I should have just not come instead of pulling the stunt and getting him stuck with an outrageous bill. Edit. At the restaurant, the bar is separate, so the drinks are on a separate bill, if that makes sense. And if anyone is concerned about leaving a tip, I live in Australia, so they not tipping culture there. Edit 2. Hey guys, just wanted to clarify some things. 90% of the restaurants where I live, they don't do separate checks and might separate the bill for you if you're lucky, by the way. This post is AUD, so if you want the amount in US dollars, you got to convert it. Dan could have easily asked Greg and Susan to transfer him the money if he wanted it, but he's always been about helping them through their financial hardship, even though they just use him and keep dragging me into it. I admit that what I did was immature. I disagree. But I'm tired of being forced to play along. It's his money, and if he wants to spend it on them, that's fine, but I'm not paying for them. Also, Dan's a really good friend of mine, albeit blind AF. I was trying to get him to see what kind of people he was helping, quote, helping. I will admit it was a tad bit petty. Thank you for the gold. Apparently, you got some stacks for this particular shit. Is this guy an asshole? There's no way, shape, or form he's an asshole, right? No.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, we had this kind of come up on Monday. I met like people from my bowling team beforehand for dinner since I was off for the day with the holiday, and they usually go to places like I don't really care about like Golden Corral and Cracker Barrel and shit like that. But this time they were going to my favorite local sushi place, which is like right by my house. Yeah. And so I was like, well, shit, I ain't doing nothing right now. I can meet for a bite to eat beforehand. So, I met them up there, and like the one guy's friend's been coming up to bowling and watching this lady. And so like I've seen her like twice now at the bowling alley where she's just been hanging out with us. And so but I don't really know her, And So like the four of us, we ate dinner or whatever, and when the bill came, she just paid like the whole thing, and I was like, "What?" I feel like really thankful, but I also feel super fucking guilty about that because like I didn't order food thinking we were like she was paying the whole bill. I just ordered what I would normally order, and I was planning on paying for it myself. Like I didn't think like I didn't. It's the kind of thing where if I knew that that was happening, one, I would have like protested it, but two, I also wouldn't have ordered 2 sushi rolls. I would have downgraded as to not like overspend on someone else's dime.
Yes.
So now I feel like I owe this person who I've only met like 2 or 3 times.
You don't owe them, but you do owe them in that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At some point, you'll probably catch them. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, let me get that for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Thank you
assuredly. Like, I will go out of my way to make it happen.
Yeah, I know. Because I know he was what kind of person you are. So that's very sweet of you. But yeah, this situation, no, these people are not good people. And I don't know if I'd be having them in my friend group. This just seems, it likewise seem abusive. That you constantly coming through, spending well beyond your means.
Like, I know I have friends who like make more money than me.
Yeah.
One of them a considerable amount of money more than me. And like they are generous when it comes to like picking up a bill for dinner or whatever, But like when I can, I try to like pick up a meal or give a little gift or something because like it'll never be equal. Yeah. But at least I'm putting in an effort in to reciprocate the thanks from my side.
Yeah.
Whereas these people sound like they're just content with like leeching off these people indefinitely.
Like I said, ordering $200. I don't know. Here, all right, let's just find out what $200 Australian is.
Like if you know that you're having problems financially and you go to dinner with other people and you willingly order expensive ass shit, it's because you intend to take advantage of the people you're with.
Yes.
Like you gotta order humble dinners.
So 200 Australian is $130. So I mean that's still a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? That's still wildly inappropriate to be ordering on somebody else's damn dime. Yeah, you like I said, sometimes the pocket ain't tight, so you go basically, you know what you do? You go order the damn chicken. It's almost always reasonably priced. You get yourself a glass of water, you keep moving. If you want to go out, what you really should do is probably say, don't really got that kind of bread on me right now, unless you want to go do something on the cheap. Because that's always an option, because that's what friends can do. I don't know. It's stupid. The comments pretty much all agree, so I'm not going to delve into them. So that's what's up with that. But those are a couple of amateur assholes of this week. That's what's going on with that. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll do those again next go around. If you ever have one that you think I'd like to get these guys' take on it, feel free to send it to us. Let's do some entertainment here. I should probably make an entertainment intro of some sort. What would you like if I did that to take us into entertainment going forward?
Man.
You don't got to ask them.
Do you remember the opening to like was it Regal Cinemas when you go on the roller coaster and there was like the popcorn popping and the soda fountains and shit? Yeah. Something like that.
Whew. Well, I don't know if I can make that happen, but we'll take a look.
I mean, just like some sort of like action sequence where like shit's happening, but it doesn't have to be like necessarily specific, just like suspenseful or just like or just entertainment.
We'll see. We'll figure that out. If next week you got a new entertainment intro situation, I figured it out. And if not, I didn't crack that nut. Sorry, y'all. But I have been watching The Penguin, which just wrapped up this past Sunday. Fucking fire. All 8 episodes. Up and down the line. There are people who are like, it's just like The Sopranos light. Well, guess what, bro? I didn't really fuck with The Sopranos, so I don't care. But I do go hard for the damn Penguin, and it was great to watch that show. And Colin Farrell, whichever Colin it is.
Sherrill.
and all the other actors, Kristen Milotti and so forth were amazing in that show. It was a fantastic show to watch and enjoy. And so I highly recommend. Agatha All Alone finished up. I think. Yeah, I don't think we talked about that finale. That ended in a real good way. It was a very good, fun Marvel show, and I'm like, yeah, that was a good little treat. And I like how that ended.
I felt like that ended like, eh.
It ended in a way that everything ends in a way that it's like, just in case we get this Young Avengers popping off, let's leave that door just wide enough that you can step on through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fine, that's fine. And you don't want to kill her off; she's too good an actress. And it's like she's not dead; she's spiritual. I, of course, watched the Great British Bake Off because we make a podcast about it called Krunchy. It's Great British Bake Off podcast. The Great British Bake Off this season. I have repeated this on Krunchy, and I'm going to repeat it here on SKiM. This truly might be the finest class of bakers that show has ever had. It is at a point now in this show, which they're going to be quarterfinals just came on in England this week, comes on in the rest of the world tomorrow on Netflix. And whoever leads the tent going forward is an amazing baker. Like people who might be baking for a living is who's left in this tent. It's wild how good these people have been at this. And there are people who got their favorites. Here's the deal. I want my man Dylan to win. I think Georgie is going to win. Just laying it out there for you people. Shrinking is back on Apple TV Plus. If you are not watching Shrinking, you are missing out on some scrumptious eats. That show is amazing.
Wait, it's back?
And yeah, the whole new season already back there. We are 5-6 episodes in. So yeah, you got you a lot of Shrinking you could enjoy if you are so inclined, dear friend. And highly recommend. Brett Goldstein has been acting in it this go round. You know, he's the head writer on that show. And in this season, he's been acting in it, and he has a very interesting role that I think can be appreciated. The way it ended last week, I definitely need to watch this new episode. In fact, I think we'll be doing that after we wrap up tonight, because I should have watched it last night. I just didn't get a chance to. Abbott Elementary is back in its season 4. As it turns out, I hadn't finished season 3. So I went back and finished the last few episodes of season 3 that I hadn't watched, and so now I need to go ahead and start season 4. But great show still to this day, and I get down with that one. And Box, I did end up watching Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, and I fully understand your complaints about it. And things I took away from Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, I like that they brought back Peck in a weird way for playing the mayor of New York.
How the fuck does he go from blowing up the city by like with the containment unit to like all of a sudden now, like, you know what happened, right? You were there, you caused Ghostbusters 2, and now you're the fucking mayor and you're acting like they're the problem and that like they made it all up and everything. Like, you witnessed it, you caused it.
That dude keeps trying to pretend that ghosts aren't real when he's seen them. When he has seen
denialist.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's wild. But it was good to see that whole relatively that entire cast all back together another go around. I'd love to know what's up at did that guy from Vigo? It's Vigo. He lived, right?
Yeah.
That character? Yes.
Yeah, he got oozed at the end, and he was just all happy and shit.
Yeah, you gotta bring that guy back. That'd be a bit of fun to be had there.
Like, all right, let me ask like a theoretical question here based on End of Ghostbusters 2. If you become possessed and you are an accomplice to try and take down the world with a spiritual being who lives in a painting, but then you become saved and unpossessed, are you at fault for the crimes you committed while you were possessed by the painting demon?
There's no way you can be held responsible when possessed. Just can't be.
So it's like, that's got to be like an insanity plea, right?
Yeah, in this case, possessed. I'm sorry, sir.
Like,
Vigo.
I know Vigo. I kidnapped the baby, but it was Vigo.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. At that point, when the Statue of Liberty was walking down the street, it's some Jackie.
Right?
Yeah, that all things kind of like We gotta just wipe our hands on this shit, y'all.
Your love.
Yeah, Jackie Wilson. You know what I'm saying? I was saying.
Higher and higher.
Bobby Brown bumping in the background. I'm saying, so it's like you just gotta. We're gonna clean it up. We'll FEMA this one out. I think Reagan was president at that point in time. Maybe Bush. No, that was Reagan, right? Yeah. So it just, hey man, there would definitely be some kind of congressional investigation. Oh my God! Imagine everything that comes with that. That's some shit they should do movies about or TV shows about. You know what I'm saying? Like the real world implications of ghost busting and ghost existing. It's good to see Slimer again, but not really at the same time either. They tried to lean more toward cartoon Slimer, I think, and I don't know if that was successful.
Well, that was the thing with this episode, was that like they were basing it more off of the cartoon than like the previous movies. So like the ghost in this one was based off of a Ghostbusters cartoon episode.
Mm-hmm. The ghost girlfriend situation or ghost partner, whatever, I don't know, was wild, as you said. It's like, I don't know if I'd take that. I don't know if I'd be doing that, buddy. That's a weird one, unnecessarily at that. So
yeah, it's like, all right, be friendly, but like they were leaning too much into like, I want to diddle this ghost is what I was getting off that energy, and like I did not appreciate it. That
was the energy that was being displayed. Kumail Nanjiani as a ghost superhero situation. Weird energy from that. Don't know if I appreciated that either.
It didn't. The vibe did not mesh with the theme of the movie. It was too fucking like aloof and wacky.
Yeah. So, I watched it on Netflix. I don't feel bad. It came with my subscription. You know what I'm saying? So, just fine.
I bought the Steelbook because I want them to keep making movies. But God damn it, if the next one is as bad as Frozen Empire ended up being, I'm going to be very upset because then I know that means they're not going to keep doing shit, and I want them to keep doing shit while I'm still alive because I want to be able to enjoy it.
They still make shitty Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah, but people still come to see them shits. They make hundreds of millions of dollars. Ghostbusters ain't ranking in hundreds of millions of dollars to keep pumping out stinkers.
Hardly anything is anymore since post-COVID. It has made its bread back.
And you see how quick these studios and distribution companies are to cut something loose. Even when shit's good, they still be like, nah. Like shows will be fucking hits, and they'll just be like, nah, you get only the one season. Yeah. We can't keep making this. It's not worth the squeeze.
Yeah, that's sad. I am playing. There's a game that is available on, I think, everywhere, just about everywhere. But I'm playing it on my phone. It's Balatro. It's this weird roguelite mixed with poker kind of situation, but it's very, very fun and interesting. I think you would appreciate it. I would tell you to maybe download that on your phone and give a couple of hands of play and see if you think you might get down Balatro. And the music, turns out the other day. Okay, so right now, currently, my dryer is broken, and I'm waiting on maintenance to come fix it. So I had to go down the street the other day to dry some laundry because I'd washed all this laundry and the dryer wasn't spinning. I was like, what the fuck is going on there? So there's a laundromat at the end of my street, and I was like, that's fine. I'll go down there and dry some laundry. But I got my headphones in, and I pulled Balatro up, and for the first time ever, because I have my phone, I don't have sounds on my phone on, I hear the music. Holy shit, absolute fire. So you might want to play that with your headphones in or with the sound on, y'all. It's very fun. It's a fun and interesting kind of take on poker, basically. But there's also some magic powers and stuff. But it's a lot going on there. Good game to play. Balatro, Balatro. It's on Apple Arcade if you have that. But also, like I said, you can buy it on everywhere. It's on the Switch and PlayStation and everything like that there. So you can also play it on your consoles and PC and all that like. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I am a Call of Duty campaign guy. Always have been. There's only one I think I've missed, which is the Vanguard, which I actually want to play. And whenever at some point they'll put that on Game Pass, and I'll play that campaign then. But I played through the campaign of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and absolutely loved it. One of the best campaigns they've had in years. So if you're a campaign kind of girly or a guy, I'm telling you right now, get on that one. I know nobody's playing it because every Chivo I popped, and I popped almost all the ones for a single player, were diamond achievements, as in rare, as in nobody has them bitches yet. And all the ones I popped was all rare diamond achievements. I was like, that's crazy. Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 finally got released on physical, so I had bought a physical copy of it, and I finally started that, and that game is real good and really wild. So if you remember Alan Wake, or if you've ever played any of Remedy's games, they got a weird little streak. They like doing a lot of video production and stuff in there, so they actually have like live action stuff happening and then video game stuff happening. And then sometimes a combination of the two where you're walking around and in the background live action is happening. That game is a wild one so far, and I'm very much enjoying it. Fortnite has an old school kind of situation going on right now. Basically, it's the old Fortnite map, which is really weird to get back into. But I played a couple of rounds, and I've top 5'd a couple of different games, but I have not gotten a victory royale yet in this little season. But who knows what will come of it? I told you how I was reading The Air Affair. Finished that. End up reading the next 3 books after that. Lost in a Good Book, The Well of Lost Plots, and Something Rotten. And literally, as we sat here, I got a notification from Libby that my hold on First Among Sequels was available to be borrowed. So we're going to get to that one next. Oh, I'm also on the next Cozy Camp mysteries that I'll be reading. This one is Bonfires, Backpacks, and Brawls. Another Tanya Kappas joint. And I know this seems weird to say because I'm saying y'all know these books are, I tell you, they're little spits of things. But Tanya might have gotten good at writing, y'all, because her writing in this one, I'm like, okay, I see you out here getting a little extra descriptive, just a little naughty, because they're cozy books. So you don't really talk about getting down with the get down, or you don't really describe the murder in great detail. They're meant to be like bad stuff happened. Let's solve the mystery. But her chops kind of hitting right in this book, y'all. She might have just gotten to a point that she got some fire popping off in her writing. I was like, okay, I see you, Tanya Kappas. I am listening to Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia. It's amazing. It's probably it's album of the year material, but unfortunately, the way album of the year works is that it came out too late to be considered for album of the year at the Grammys. But it's really a really quality piece. But also, Freddie Gibbs on Halloween dropped "You Only Die Once," and that album is fucking fantastic. Freddie Gibbs coming through doing a dang thing, y'all. So respect it. But there is T's selection of entertainment box. What have you been playing, watching, listening to?
Let's see. I bought Black Ops 6, which is the first Call of Duty game I've purchased since one of them on Xbox 360 back in like 2008.
What made you buy this? What made you buy this as opposed to just paying for Game Pass and downloading for free?
I didn't want to keep paying for Game Pass because don't you have to like get rid of it after a bit?
Explain.
I'm asking. I don't know. Like when you download it off Game Pass, don't you only have a limited amount of time you can play it?
No, Game Pass is well, for some things, sure, but this is a Microsoft first party game now. Remember, they bought Activision. This is theirs. It's just on the system now going forward.
So like you get Game Pass, you get it, but then like if you get rid of Game Pass, do you lose access to it?
Yes.
So that's why I bought it, because I didn't want to keep Game Pass. Like I don't use Game Pass. Like I don't play enough to justify continuing to pay for something every month.
Okay.
So a one-time investment was the most I was willing to put on it. This is the exact reason too why I explained to my one buddy why like I wasn't planning on buying it to begin with.
Yeah,
he's like, well, you got to level up the guns and this and that and the other for where the Warzone drops and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, when the fuck do I have time to play all like that anymore? I'm like, Mondays, like every other Monday, I have bowling. Like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I usually like I'm either working or I'm doing overtime shit Pokemon shit with my brother and my buddy. And now on Tuesdays, I go over to my parents' house to get my Tirzepatide shot. So like my Tuesdays now are taken up.
Yeah.
Thursdays, I do this podcast with you. And then Fridays is usually the day of the week that I set aside to try and play Call of Duty if I got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays, like right now, Sundays I usually watch football. Saturdays, most other people who would play with us aren't playing. So it's like you may get some people to play a little bit in the morning, maybe a couple people play in the evening, but it's not a for sure thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole week. So it's like, why do I think that if I spend $100 on this game that I'm gonna have all this infinite time in the world to like dedicate to playing this like every single day? Like I don't. And so it's like I know that going in. So like, but more people outside of just this one particular group of people that I play Call of Duty with, because sometimes those people can be problematic. Some of them sometimes turn into the typical Call of Duty player that you see online shouting shit that's like inappropriate and whatever. And sometimes, and they do a lot of drinking, and so sometimes I just don't want to hear them when they're drunk. They start playing in a way that's not fun, and so it's like sometimes I just get tired of playing in that group. Some of them are just people I know through like that group of people. Like I don't know them on a personal level. Yeah. I kind of just know them through that group of people that I like got brought into from other people I knew.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like gaming people, like online people.
Yeah.
Some of them I do know like in person, but not like I've never been to their house. We'll say that.
Yeah.
But then like other people that I am closer friends with, that like I see on the regular or I'm in fantasy football league with, shit like that. They were all like getting back on the game, and like people who hadn't played Call of Duty in years were like, "Oh shit, this is back," and this is like, "I'll get it." So there was more opportunity for me to have more fun with people who were less problematic. So I went ahead and dropped $100 on buying the game and the special edition with all the other bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
And because I do like playing multiplayer. Yeah. Like I don't always want to play Warzone. Especially like when like the things I just described with them fucking being like kind of insufferable to play with at times.
Yeah.
And it's like with Warzone's cool and all, like I like the premise, but when you're not as good as a lot of the other people who play and like you get killed immediately.
Yeah. And
then you're just stuck there waiting on either your team to die or you to get bought back or whatever. And then when you do get bought back, it's like a struggle sometimes to like regain, and it's a fun game when you win, but like when you don't win and you spend 7 hours just getting your ass rammed, it can be kind of fucking taxing on your mental health.
For sure.
And whereas like with multiplayer, like you do die fast, like the TTK can be pretty quick, but like dying and then immediately spawning, at least I feel like I'm playing. Like it can be a little repetitive at times, but like at least I'm doing something. And
just run and gun.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not bad at it either. Like my fucking KD right now, like I think I've played like 11 hours or so of BO6 multiplayer.
Yeah, and
my KD is like a 1.25, 1.3, something like that, which is pretty fucking good. Like considering like my Warzone KD is like a 0.56 or something. Or I think it was at like a 0.61 or some shit. Like when I stopped playing a couple weeks back, like part of it was because when I didn't play Call of Duty for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And when I came back, like I had to like learn all the movements again. And like I'm coming back and I have nothing leveled up, no guns, nothing whatsoever. And I'm jumping into playing Warzone with people who have like fully decked out fucking meta guns with every attachment and shit. And,
other guns.
And so it's like I'm dying because I got nothing like, a lot of these people who play this game now are like higher skilled than me. They're younger, they're quicker reflexes, they have better equipment, and they have more time to get more skilled at it than I do, which I understand. So it's like multiplayer, like it evens the playing field out a little bit where like, like I have that ability to kind of like learn more because I get more reps because like you die and come back immediately. So you get a little more of a feel for it. I feel like the acclimation period is faster. It's a fucking grind leveling up the guns in multiplayer. Like that takes a while, but like I feel like I can enjoy playing that fairly regularly. Whereas like times Warzone, it just becomes like you start to actively avoid it on like a night where you're like, well, I could play right now, but like I'd rather go watch a movie than go beat my brains in for 3 hours, losing repeatedly and not having fun.
What modes do you play in multiplayer over there? I don't even know what the what I'm saying. Just
it's usually like
it's team deathmatch still, or
it's like team deathmatch. There's like hard point. There's like one like kill confirmed or whatever where you kill and have to go get the dog tags that they leave behind. There's like, and then there's also like another mode where it's like King of the Hill where there's like 3 spots on the map and you try to control.
Capture the flag.
Yeah, basically. So it's
Yeah.
like, and like the longer you hold those zones, the more points you get. So like I like playing shit like that. Like I used to play that kind of shit back in Halo back in the day.
About to say that's definitely some Halo type shit. You know, they recently added the Halo 2 maps to Halo Infinite. So imagine Halo 2 maps looking like
That's
Halo
probably
Infinite.
what that 10 gigabyte update that was on my Xbox this morning was for.
Oh, because I think they're in Forge, so there's not they're not technically in the game, but they're in the Forge, and people have just been doing games on those maps in Forge, and I think I'm like, that's kind of cool. They did
I
that.
really wanted to love Halo again when the multiplayer came out like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And I did for a little bit, but it's just it's hard to like love a game that like just dies immediately. Like,
yeah.
like
That
when there's
game
no
was
player
hot for like
base,
3 weeks, and then it's like, I'm good.
yeah, like it's difficult because there's so much like happy memories tied to that franchise with me. Because like that's Halo was my favorite game of like I've ever played. Like I did some like I had Nintendo 64 and Game Boy growing up, but like I didn't grow up on Nintendo and Super Nintendo. So I'm not really attached to Mario and Zelda and all that like most people. Like I played Mario 64 and Zelda 64. But then when the 64 was done, I didn't go to GameCube. I didn't go to the Wii.
Yeah.
So I didn't continue those franchises. So like they don't have a special place in my heart like they do for most people.
Yeah.
I think they're cool and whatever, but like I've had every Xbox that's come out since the first one. Like I pre-ordered the original Xbox, and in that pre-order bundle that I got to pick like 3 games, and Halo was one of the games I picked. And so like I've had a 360, I've had an Xbox One, I have the new one, like the Xbox X or whatever.
Series X. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's like I missed a couple Halo games there in like my mid-20s when I was busy, like, you know, with life, trying to like do other shit and work and, you know, establish myself as an adult. Yeah. But like, you know, I played Halo 1, 2, 3. I played Halo 5. I didn't play ODST, and I didn't. Or no, was it 5? Reach. I don't know. But then I bought like the newer one, and like I was playing through that a couple months back, and like I need to get back and like finish that.
Did you not? You said you didn't play Reach?
I don't remember. I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think I did.
Halo Reach is like the last with the original Halo team making it. And
yeah.
No joke. One of the finest Halo games ever. I really, really love Reach. Reach ended up being like just like important to my whole. I don't know. Like I played the shit out of Reach. Reach was my joint, man.
Yeah, so. I think the last one I had played on the original stuff was 3.
Yeah.
And then I came back
super huge.
Yeah, I came back at like 5. I think when I was living on Winchester.
Yeah, because we went and picked those up together, right? Yeah.
So like I came back at 5, and then I bought Infinite, but like Infinite, I think I'm like halfway through the story mode. That's just the thing. It's like I don't dedicate time necessarily to just like gaming like I used to. Yeah. So it's like I play in spurts. Like I'll have like 2 weeks where I'll just grind it nonstop, and then I'll get sidetracked with something else, and then I don't come back to it for 6 months.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's been for me. And like I said, I just told you how much I am enjoying this Alan Wake, but I have not played Alan Wake since Sunday. But I mean, just life happening. No, I played it Monday because I was off Monday, so I definitely played it for a little bit Monday because we were off. But yeah, but that was the last one I played. And like so, in like some games, I got this Zelda game. I ain't even played it yet. The latest game on Switch, I have not played it yet. But that's just I'm weird. I can't play multiple games at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I know you're saying don't you play Fortnite, whatever, but it's like that's me turning on the podcast and just running around shooting for a little bit.
Yeah, you're talking about like story mode campaign type games.
Yeah, I can't. When people say I'm playing multiple games, I'm like, how is your brain doing that? Like mine it never functions that way. So currently my story game is Alan Wake 2. My shoot is Fortnite. But now you're telling me that this Call of Duty multiplayer is doing the damn thing. Like I said, it's on the Xbox already. I downloaded it. So why the fuck not? Why would I not get out there and play a little multiplayer? I wouldn't. Yeah,
like we opened up a Call of Duty thread in our Discord, like my fantasy football league with my buddies. We put a Call of Duty channel in so that we could coordinate when we're all playing. Like they're playing right now. Yeah. They won't play like late. Like, during the week, most of them won't play till like 10 or 11 or so.
Yeah,
because we're all old men at this point. But like last Friday, last Friday we played until almost 3:00 in the morning, and then played for like an hour and a half on Saturday afternoon together before everyone went and watched like college football or did whatever they were doing. But like, they've been pretty consistent about getting on for like an hour or two every night, like during the week. I've just been busy between working overtime and other shit like bowling and all that. I just haven't had a chance to play it all this week.
When I was playing the campaign, I saw you pop up a couple of times. I'm like, oh shit, box, you must be getting something off on the Xbox. I was like, hell yeah. So your name still pops up on my list.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I have the Xbox on when I'm working because it's what I use to watch, like, YouTube and shit, like, in the background during the workday. But, yeah, like, I haven't actually played Black Ops 6 since Saturday. Yeah. So it's been, like, 5 days now.
So, there you go. That's anything else in the realm of entertainment? Watching anything?
I saw the new Venom movie in theaters.
How'd you think that wrapped up? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't said none of these. I don't know any of these things. So the Venom shit is I have to come to you on because
It was probably the worst of the three movies. But like, I didn't go into it expecting it to be any good.
Yeah,
I just didn't want it to be terrible. And then there was just some like really stupid shit that they did in the movie that was like, you know, I'm just gonna say it. Like, the whole thing in the movie is Null has sent the xenophages to kill Venom to get like this thing out of his head that it's like basically a key that frees him from the prison he's in.
Okay. But
the xenophages can only see Venom like in the key when he's morphed into full Venom. So, but if he just kind of stays as the little floaty symbiote hanging off Eddie, they can't see him. So like Eddie can hide and like they can't find him to try and kill him.
Yeah.
And they know this, right? Like they actively are like avoiding doing this so that they cannot get caught by the xenophages. So the movie continues. They end up in Las Vegas and they run into Mrs. Chen from the other movies that runs the convenience store.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, Eddie," because she like they've been protecting her store, so they're cool, you know. She knows about Venom because she watched him eat one of the guys who was trying to rob her and shit in the other movies. So like she's cool with Venom. She like her and Venom and Eddie are like this. Like she's down to clown. And they're just like disheveled and all dirty and shit because like they just like, you know, came from like the deserts and shit in Arizona and whatever. And so she's like, "Oh, I got a penthouse suite. You know, like, why don't you come up there and get cleaned up, take a shower, or whatever." And so, like, they're all in her penthouse suite. And then, like, they have music on. And then, all like, Venom wants to dance with Mrs. Chen. So he completely goes against the fucking not turning into Venom to keep the alien bounty hunters away so that he can have a fucking dance number with this lady. And within 30 seconds, because these things move so fast, the fucking aliens in the fucking penthouse trying to kill him just so he can have a dance number. It was stupid as fuck.
Those things, look, I get it. I know you love Venom and therefore you appreciate at least can appreciate those movies on some level. They always seem like just the most execrable things that should not have been made. That of course Sony just like trying to milk their damn Spidey license. And I'm just like, no. Venom is such a dope character, and yeah.
It was like a really weird buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
That like was kind of sad, but like also did some stupid shit. Some of it was funny. Some of it was cool looking because of the CGI, getting to see all the other symbiotes and shit. But then there was like, it was lacking character development. It did stupid plot holy shit like I just described. Like I said, I didn't go into it expecting anything great. It wasn't Morbius bad, but it wasn't like yeah, it wasn't like anything like, you know, Hall of Fame worthy or nothing. Like it definitely wasn't like a great movie, but it wasn't the fucking worst thing I've ever seen. It just wasn't good. So I watched that. I finished Yellow Jackets, the Showtime show.
Yeah, Vanessa watches that.
I had started it a while back, and like my parents have like my logins to like all my various streaming services.
Yeah, and
they watch random shit at random times. So at some point, somebody must have like went in and like started watching it and like completely cleared off where I had left off at. So I couldn't remember where I was at. I just kind of remembered some shit that had happened because I watched it months back, and so I just picked up. Like I basically just started again at like episode 5 of season 1. And then as I was watching it, I was like, oh shit, I've already seen some of this. I remember like things started coming back to me.
Yeah.
So I think where I had originally left off was like episode 2 of season 2. But I basically just went ahead and rewatched like the second half of season 1. And then I got all the way to the end of season 2. So I'm current now for where they're at for what's aired. And then I've been watching Found. I think I'm an episode behind though. I don't think I watched last week's. I've been watching The Irrational, which I also didn't watch last week, so I'm probably 2 weeks behind on that now because I think a new episode was last night. I've been watching From, the MGM Plus show. I think that's only got like 1 or 2 episodes left. Okay. Then obviously I've been watching like every Cavs game, football, basketball, sports gambling, whatnot. That's pretty much what it's been for the last couple of weeks. Like, when we had the trick or treaters come and go, I was watching Hocus Pocus, but other than that, like that's about all I've been having going on.
There you go. That's what's up. Are you not entertained?
That could be your thing. The Gladiator, like, are you not entertained?
They would definitely take that from us. They would be like, I'm gonna go ahead and get you a copyright, not strike per se, but they definitely would ring that bitch up. I'm like, nah, that's the thing. I try to use shit that we can use and not have them ever take potential. We ain't there yet, but potential money away from us. So, but can't call it. So we'll see how it all plays out. But thank you, y'all. That's the show. Let's walk you through it. You know what it is. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Basically, I need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm just trying to. Basically, we're at a point right now. I'm like, okay, we're at this number. I would like to be at 100. We're not close to 100. We're just not there yet. But we have been getting a subscriber of 1 or 2 a week here. So I'm like, okay, we're still doing the same thing. So I like that, and I would just like more of that. So if you are not watching what we do here live, consider watching the edited version that will go up next week. I like it. I'm not saying if you're a podcast person and don't want to watch YouTube videos, I get that. But if you do, you can see our mugs is doing this, having a good time, laughing and sometimes showing you screen grabs of saunas, not hot tubs, saunas, saunas and oddly enough ice tubs, not hot tubs. I have locked the Twitter. So there's no new Twitters, and I have deleted the bookmark, so I can't even get to it without real intentionality. I didn't delete the account or anything like that. There, I'm just saying, you're not fucking around over there no more. But we do have a Threads, we do have a Blue Sky. Both are available for you to interact with us on if you are so inclined over there.
I saw the thing today. It was like Don Lemon and Jamie Lee Curtis announced they're leaving Twitter. It's like, just leave. You don't gotta tell everybody.
That's the problem. Like I said, only reason I'm telling you, the listeners, this is because in case you would like to interact with us on socials, you have some options now. I am not a big fan of Threads. I do like Blue Sky more than Threads, but it's there. We have one. But Blue Sky is what I enjoy. And
I finally activated my Threads account like a month ago or so.
Yeah.
And like I noticed all it does is push me like sex bots. Where it's always like some middle-aged woman, and it's always like, where the single people in Ohio at?
Yes.
And I'm just like, how can there be 27,000 women out here all saying the same goddamn thing in Ohio? This is just Threads, aka Meta, trying to pump in fake users for us to think there's actual people on this fucking app.
It's why I truly don't like Threads. It's always that shit. It's always engagement bait type things. People will say the most outlandish shit and be like, don't you want to respond to this? And I'm like, no, I don't. You know what I will do though? I'll block you. And so I truly do not like Threads. But Blue Sky, which has really started picking up since the election, a lot of people I fuck with on Twitter have moved over to Blue Sky and with intent. So I'm like, okay, Blue Sky is starting to really now look more like what Twitter. The people I fuck with are moving over to Blue Sky and posting over there with regularity. I'm like, okay, this has got a good feel to it. It's not algorithmically generated. It's basically who you follow and the time they post and all that good shit. So they don't have an algorithm they push. That's the whole point of it, to not have an algorithm. And so I am enjoying that. Plus, if you are so inclined, if you wanted to, you could use our domain for your Blue Sky name. So my shit says tayrel713.stagecrunchyandmilk.com. That's my name on Blue Sky. The show's thing is currently stagecrunchyandmilk.bluesky.social. But today I did go in to change it to where it should just be at stagecrunchyandmilk.com is what the show's Blue Sky name should be. But also Blue Sky got hit hard today by new users. Their servers were on fire, so that I don't think that's caught up with itself yet. But that basically should be the show's name over there. Basically, the links, there's links to the socials in the notes on the show you'll see right now. But those links will take you to. I don't think, like I said, because I just don't really fuck with Threads. We have it. I think I'll just make that link go to the show's Blue Sky. The reason I want you to follow us on Instagram right now is I put a reel up for Crimpetissier that's not doing buku numbers, but it's got some numbers, and I was like, I'd like that to blow up. So then I ended up putting it on YouTube today. I ended up uploading it to YouTube today, and like, oh yeah, because it counts as a YouTube short, doesn't it? So now it's on YouTube as well, but it's not getting any kind of traction on YouTube. But it has a little traction on Instagram. So I'd like you to follow the show's Instagram page to try to make those numbers number. But again, currently I'm not really tripping off the socials. I'd like you to watch us on YouTube. And that's only because we put some effort into this production.
It's just, I feel like right now the social media is in kind of like a rebuilding stage where people are kind of lost and don't know what they feel comfortable with and where they want to go. So it's kind of like difficult to give anyone any sort of concrete answer.
Yeah. So I'd rather you just, like I said, just watch us. I think we do fine product. Just watch us if you are so inclined to watch a podcast as opposed to listen to a podcast. I happen to enjoy watching some podcasts, not all the podcasts. I'm still a podcast guy. But I like watching the Doughboys because they do fun stuff. I like watching kind of funny stuff because they, like I said, they do interesting stuff. And like I said,
I do find that I enjoy podcasts more with video now than like just listening into my car or whatever. I feel like this adds an extra layer of excitement.
Yep. And that's why I try to make it a little interesting, screens popping and sharing stuff and, editing stuff in. Like I said, oftentimes if we talk about something in particular, I'll just edit it into the video version of the show. And I like that. So, but no pressure. Just ask. Maybe you consider it. That's all I'm saying. If you got a couple of bucks to us away and think you want to support us financially, and hey, we could use it.
Or hey, if you want to pay my mortgage off, go for it.
Consider joining us over on Patreon, where members of the $5 tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We got merch over at tpublic.com/user stagecrunchyandmilk, all one word. Also, feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. I want you to know I finally can make that number from scratch from my brain because I was setting it up I was writing the post on Blue Sky today to say, hey, if you feel like giving us a call. And from my mind, I said 216-264-6311 without me having to go look it up the number somewhere. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. I finally committed that to memory. Let's see. I think that is just about everything. Our missing man is the 216's own Tatum. He might be back on Crimpetissier this upcoming Tuesday if he is feeling up to snuff. And if not, that's fine. But we had talked about it, and he was like, okay, maybe I think I may be able to make that happen. So that'd be fun. You might get to get him for the last few episodes of Bake Off this go round. They just announced the Christmas episode of the Great American Baking Show and the guests they're going to have on there, and and we definitely will review that one. So that'll be a fun time to be had as well. So Stage Crunchy and Milk is this. I love it. But we also have, like I said, Crimpetissier, Great British Bake Off podcast, and it does really well. And like I said, that this season is almost wrapped up, which means that show will be done for a little bit. So take advantage while it's here and enjoy it. That is also the 216's own Lunchbox 2099.
Accurately described.
That's what I try to do. I am the internet's Tayrel 713. Don't make me push you into traffic. We'll do it again next time. Gang, gang.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.